What's up guys, Ryan here. Thank you for joining me for a new video. In this one, I want to talk about using Instagram to sell print-on-demand products to your followers. Now, first and foremost, it is my personal belief, and I don't spend too much time on social media, but it's my personal belief that it is not easy to get organic exposure online really anywhere. You kind of have to work for it, you know? If you're starting a new Instagram page and your goal is ultimately to sell people t-shirts, whether it's like a dog Instagram account where it's lots of pictures of dogs, but you ultimately want to sell them dog t-shirts, like in my mind, it's not going to be easy to organically grow that follower base. And when you get to the point where you say, all right, it's big enough, now I'm going to hit them with the dog t-shirt and hope people buy it. Instagram wants to keep people on their platform. We know this. They don't want to send people off of Instagram unless you're paying them for that exposure, right? In ads. So hopefully sharing the story I'm going to share with you in this video is going to change the way you see and you feel about Instagram. Because in my mind, like, keep in mind, this is something that not enough talking heads on YouTube talk about, is that your time is money. So there's nothing wrong with growing a big social media following and trying to market to them guys, but keep in mind, it takes time. And somewhere in a parallel universe, instead of trying to grow a social media following, maybe you followed my recommended approach and you just tried to occupy as much online real estate as possible on the big e-commerce websites that already get qualified organic traffic, right? So instead of someone logging into Instagram or Facebook and they're there just to like talk politics or check on their best friend's photos of their kid, right? Whatever people do, I don't know. Like I said, I don't spend too much time on there. And then all of a sudden you're gonna try to convince them to buy a t-shirt from you. Now, that's hard to do. But in the other alternate universe where you're occupying online real estate on places like, I don't know, Amazon, Etsy, Redbubble, places that people go with the intent to buy, you don't have to convince somebody who's going to look at photos of, you know, a dog or something or a kid or whatever it is. You don't have to convince them to buy a t-shirt. You only have to convince somebody who's looking to buy a t-shirt to buy your t-shirt instead of somebody else's. In my mind, that, like, if your goal is to make money, your time is better spent doing that than trying to grow an organic following on social media from scratch and then take them off of the platform when we know the platform doesn't want people leaving, and then actually convert those people, right? It's not easy, guys. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I want to share with you a story in this video of an Instagrammer with a multi-million follower base that tried to sell t-shirts to those people. And I want to let you know how it ended for this big Instagrammer. So I'm gonna go jump on my computer and we'll dive into the article. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And real quick, before we jump into the story, let me introduce myself for the new viewers. I'm Ryan Hogue. I've sold over $1.7 million on Amazon to date. If you want to follow the links in the description, I've got a free 8-day print-on-demand mini course delivered via email. I also have a print-on-demand Facebook community. I'd love to have you there. And I publish income reports on the first day of each month. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can follow along with my print-on-demand journey, as well as Amazon FBA, Amazon Merch, Amazon KDP, and my YouTube revenue. Last but not least, I wrote an over 70 lecture course. It's a full print-on-demand course, covers the full spectrum, niche research, designing, how to set up on all these marketplaces, and Excel. It's everything you need. So check that out, link in the description. All right, so let's jump into the main story. Now, I'm not trying to make fun of this Instagrammer. I actually respect the hustle that they grew a massive social media following and then tried to parlay it into a stream of income, especially at a very young age. Unfortunately, it ended up being an epic fail. They had closer to 3 million followers than 2 million followers on the popular social media website Instagram, and they tried to launch their own clothing brand. And upon launching the first product, they had an epic fail. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. They couldn't sell 36 pieces of clothing, which was the minimum requirement to keep working with whatever production company they were using to launch their brand. So what do you say we dive into the article? All right, and I'm going to put a link in the description if you guys want to follow along or read the article for yourself. But this Instagrammer at ARII said she failed to sell 36 t-shirts to her 2.6 million followers. It's now a deleted Instagram post. She said she was launching a clothing line, but had to sell 36 items from the initial drop in order for the company to continue producing them. She wasn't met with much sympathy, as you would imagine. I mean, I'm not being too sympathetic in this video, but I'm also not trying to make fun of her. But when you're out there, you're a public figure, you're an influencer. This is just kind of how it goes. You're in the spotlight. It goes both ways, good and bad. Some people pointed out that the Instagram star didn't promote her products well, while others suggested the news is a sign that the influencer bubble is set to burst. All right, so let's read through this. It's not too long of an article. So, an Instagram star has sparked a discussion about how powerful social media influencers really are after failing to sell 36 t-shirts to 2.6 million followers. Ari, whose real name, skip that, decided to launch her own clothing line, ERA, with an initial drop of t-shirts. The 18-year-old could perhaps be forgiven for presuming her huge follower count would translate to sales, but this was not to be the case. Renee has now deleted the Instagram post where she explained what happened, but not before countless people managed to screen grab it. So I read through it. It's not really worth digging into. It's more or less social media drama where she said that people didn't help promote it for her, even though she had helped those people in the past, etc. So don't worry about that. The Miami-based influencer said she'd been told by the company producing the brand that she needed to sell at least 36 t-shirts from the first run of products in order for the line to be continued, but Renee didn't hit the target. In the lengthy caption, she explained that she knew it was going to be hard, but that she was getting so much good feedback that people loved it and were going to buy it, which, dare I venture to say that people that spend all day on social media and on Instagram are fake people, right? I mean, come on. Social media is not representative of most people's real lives. So, of course, people are like, oh, my God, this brand is the best. I'm going to buy it. And she couldn't sell 36 shirts. I don't know. You guys can tell. Like, I get a little, I'm not a fan of social media. I just think it's a huge waste of time most of the time. No one kept their word. So now the company won't be able to send out the orders to people who actually bought S. And it breaks my heart, she said. The people I thought were going to support me really didn't, nor did they share any of my posts. All right, we're getting into that quote. We're just going to skip through that. She explained that the people who had ordered a t-shirt would be refunded and said that she would take care of the experience. She would take the experience as a wake-up call to work harder. Hey, like I said, mad respect. She's also young, so it's not like this was even that big of a fail. I mean, it doesn't sound like she was out too much money. So I got faith she'll be all right. Unfortunately for Renee, her post wasn't met with much sympathy online, as many people were swiftly sharing their 2 cents on the marketing fail. One person on Twitter suggested that the influencer bubble is bursting. The influencer bubble is bursting. The young lady was well over 2. Okay, so someone's just sharing their opinion on Twitter, saying that maybe influencers don't carry as much weight as they think, and that a massive follower count does not necessarily mean that's going to translate into sales. So take note of that if you guys are still thinking that you're going to make your brand relevant through social media, because I mean, we already know it's hard. Others suggested the main error was with how Renee marketed the product, pointing out that the t-shirts didn't really fit with the rest of her style and that she didn't do much to promote them. Renee did not immediately respond to the request for a comment. Influencer marketing expert Shirley said, co-founder of leading brand agency Wickerwood, told Insider she isn't surprised Renee failed to sell more t-shirts. From careful review of how the supposed brand, they put it in quotes, so they're really trolling her now, that Ari says she launched, and the first edition t-shirts that were to be the brand's hero launch product, the brand was very poorly created and weak in execution and brand image. Now, they're going to give some examples if you guys want to see. There's also the fact that the t-shirts just weren't very exciting. So I'm just saying, like, we can probably, us print-on-demand sellers that are experienced, we probably could come up with better designs. Wait till you see these ones. But even if they're exciting, you still got to convince people to open up their wallets. And you got to get out in front of people, which is the hardest part. This influencer already had that part solved, but they didn't solve the other part of the equation, getting people excited enough to buy it. There was nothing special about those t-shirts, she said. Nothing personal or creative or inspirational or exciting. They were simply black, long-sleeve, branded t-shirts, and the marketing was immature, unprofessional, and lazy. The price of the t-shirts is unknown, but Leigh Wood, the expert, said that if she priced it too high and her mass followers couldn't afford it, they're not going to engage or purchase, especially if it's overpriced and the brand image is weak. Price point is extremely important. This all goes back to understanding your audience. On Twitter, campaign and content expert Jack Appleby highlighted that Renee only posted 2 images about the product before launching it. So guys, what this is, it's not just that this influencer on Instagram messed up. These are all things to take into consideration if you're going to go this route of creating your own brand identity from nothing, and you're going to make people aware of its existence. Like, there are so many things that you have to do correctly. And again, like, what I always want to come back to is the point that the hardest part is just getting organic exposure. You know what I mean? Because you're not trying to build a social media following if you're intending to spend money on ads, because you can just spend money on ads. You know, you can just do that, snap your fingers, it's done. So this guy's saying that her normal Instagram feed did not match her product line at all whatsoever. And I mean, you can kind of see this kid's wearing one of those t-shirts or long sleeve shirts, and it's just like some butterflies and 3 letters. And yeah, it's extremely, extremely basic. Nothing special about it at all. And he goes on to say that a lot of times female influencers have predominantly male followers, so maybe she should have been trying to sell to the male audience more. It looks like, and then he says, maybe I missed her Instagram stories or promoted posts, but looks like she announced it with a video, only put up one more video, and then said she failed 13 days later. So she really didn't try too hard to promote it herself. And not one single picture of her wearing the product was found on her Instagram. And there's only 2 posts even mentioning it. So she basically didn't even try to promote her own product. Yeah, okay, that's a fail. We know that. But at the same time, 2.6 million followers. She couldn't sell 36 shirts. Something doesn't add up, right? And then he goes on to question if her followers were real, but based on the engagement she normally gets, which, by the way, I mean, that's not a lot of engagement. 44,000 likes, 37,000 likes for having 2.6 million followers. There has been known to be bots on Instagram and other social networks, so it would not surprise me if some of them were not active accounts. Let's just say active accounts. So anyways, if you go through the rest of the article, it's talking mainly about like why she failed. They're saying that she added in her own experience, influencers launching their own products fail around 50% of the time. And also, like, for instance, how many subs do I have on YouTube? 28,000 right now. Like, people reach out to me all the time asking me to promote like relevant, well, not always, but usually relevant stuff to you guys. And I'm not going to shill out. Like, I didn't build this channel up for almost 2 years now just to bend over. You know, someone offered me $500 to promote some like gig economy insurance company, 500 cash. And I said, I need to know more about your product. And it didn't seem like a good fit. So you're not going to hear about it other than what I just said in that last 2 sentences. So a lot of people selling print on demand think, yeah, I'm just going to pay an influencer to, you know, show my product off to their following. And it's like, a lot of these real influencers with real followers, are they really going to do that? Are they going to be a shill for your product? I mean, I don't know. I've never tried. But in my mind, it's tough for me to imagine that a real influencer with real followers that are really engaged are really going to do that. It's just my personal opinion. And like on my channel, like I'm not going to do that unless it's relevant, unless I use it, unless it really benefits me, which means it would hopefully benefit you guys as well. I know the girl works super hard in creating clothing that's stylish and trendy, but about her and her design, if she wouldn't wear it, it doesn't get produced. She also works super hard and her followers see that every day on her channel. Followers love to see behind the scenes. They want to be a part of the creative journey with the influencer. So maybe that's a little bit of an insight, guys. If you are still thinking that you're going to execute better than this Instagrammer with 2.6 million followers, and you think that you've got some sort of an edge that she didn't have, and you're still going for it, consider this feedback. People love to see behind the scenes. They look for that authenticity. They don't just want this brand to appear out of nowhere and be sold the brand. Maybe they want to see Instagram posts leading up to the launch, talking about how much blood, sweat, and tears went into it, why it's relevant. Again, maybe like instead of the design just saying ERA, like maybe talk about the story behind those letters. I don't know. I didn't follow this girl on Instagram, and even if I did, I don't spend too much time looking at my phone following what other people are doing with their time. But I think we've talked about this long enough, guys. I think you get the point. If you're trying to sell, what's your end goal? Is it to make money online, selling e-commerce, selling FBA products or print on demand products or whatever it is? If that's your goal, heed my advice. Just follow the customers. If Amazon.com is the #1 e-commerce website in the world, go there, sell there. And if you don't have an attachment to selling a specific niche, then do some niche research. Sell what's already selling. Look at what people want to buy and go present them with the products they want to buy. You know what I mean? There are data points out there that allow us to do niche research, figure out what people are buying, and then go cater to that demand, guys. And it's stuff that I talk about on this channel. If you made it to the end of the video and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We're going to talk more about niche research, obviously, in the future. We've talked about it in the past. You can go through the archive and find some of my older videos. Also, I covered extensively in my courses. But hey, guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you at the next video.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.